Hello, hello, my Let's Keep It Real people. And boy, oh boy, is Vance in for a treat. I sent his profile out to you. And did they have some questions for Vance Morris? But before we get into that, welcome, Vance. How are you?
Thank you very much. And the crowd goes wild.
Well, wait a minute. I do have 5 cats and a dog that are running down the, stairs to greet you.
Love it. Love it.
All right. Well, I'm going to read your bio, and I'm very excited to read your bio that says funny but true bio, which was cracking me up. So we're going to read that one.
Okay, let's go with it.
All right. Vance helps business owners get, serve, and keep clients, which is very important, for life through creating experiences and responses required marketing without working harder. Yay! He is a former
Come on now, you can say it.
I'm laughing.
You can
He
say
is
it.
a former birth control factory security guard turned Disney leader. I know there's a story in between there. Turned bankrupt out of work executive, turned carpet cleaner, turned successful entrepreneur. Okay, well, that's a whole podcast in itself.
That's the last 25 years, so you're done good.
All right, but before we go into that and unpack that, one word, you get to pick one word, whatever pops in your mind that describes your past 30 days and why you picked that word.
Implementation.
Implement. Who comes up with that? All right.
I do.
All right. I thought you were going to say something fun.
Yeah, I've actually won like they're fake and funny awards, but I have won a Master Implementer Award because like when I learn something that I can apply to my business and I think it makes sense, well, I don't sit and ruminate about it or, ponder it. I put it into action.
Okay. So do you think the last 30 days implementation has been prevalent more in your life than the other 30 days? Is something going?
I've added a second really big group to my coaching business. I already have one mastermind up and running, and somebody suggested that I start a second. So that was the big implementation back in at the end of June, and then the other one was completely revamping and moving to a new CRM, which I'm sure if anybody has a CRM and they've ever migrated from one to the other, they know that that is just a nightmare.
No, please. I'm getting hives.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh, gosh. Okay. Maybe it's not as difficult for you. All right. That makes sense. Implementation. So you don't procrastinate in any area of your life?
Except cleaning my office. If you could see the floor, I mean, the floor is my filing system. So that, and I procrastinate whenever somebody wants to spend my money.
Oh, I don't know if that's procrastinate or smart. And maybe you have a system for your floor. All right. Vance.
The cleaning lady's not allowed in here because she was in here once and she moved my piles and I went berserk.
Oh, I understand that. There's a method to the madness, Vance.
That's right.
All right. Well, let's forget all the questions that the people wrote in once I told them you're coming on. We're going to back up because they did not know your bio.
Okay.
This one, anyhow, the funny one. Walk us through birth control to Disney.
Sure.
Let's walk through
roommate
that.
and I in college. That was one of my summer jobs was third shift. So that's the midnight to 8 shift. Working as a security guard in Raritan, New Jersey, for the company that makes Orthonovum. There's the Ortho Squib complex there in Raritan. And I was a security guard there while they did all that fun stuff. You want me to tell you the cool game that we invented?
I do, and I do want to know why they needed security guards.
Well, not so much well, we had a lot of animal activists because they did animal
Oh,
testing.
okay,
And then it was also, access control for the scientists and the employees and stuff like that. So I didn't
okay,
have a gun.
okay. Did you have a taser?
No, I hadn't invented those yet.
Okay. All right. Now you can tell me your fun game.
The fun game. So have you ever played Ultimate Frisbee? Or you've heard of
Yeah,
that?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, you can't play that inside because the Frisbee will knock over a lamp or, you'll break stuff. So we invented the game called Ultimate Diaphragm.
Okay. Is this true?
100%.
Really?
Oh yeah,
Food?
I'll give you the name of my roommate, and you can
No.
ask. We brought that to college, but we were Western Massachusetts. It's crappy weather out there. We're stuck inside, can't throw a real frisbee, so we made Ultimate Diaphragm the game we played in the hallways of the dorm.
Okay. And then you
Is this going where you
graduated.
thought it would?
You know, I was thinking the little pills. You know what I mean? That you were
Yeah.
flinging them around.
Oh no, no, no. We're
Yeah,
flinging
yeah,
those things. Yeah.
yeah. And that makes sense. That could be a good game. Okay, cool. Hustler for working that shift while in college.
Yeah. Yeah. Had to
So
do it. Had to do it.
you paying your way through?
I did, and actually, I only had to do that for 2 summers because in my middle end of sophomore year, we formed a rock and roll band, and we performed all around Massachusetts, Connecticut, New Hampshire area, and that ended up actually paying for my education.
Stop your nonsense. Really?
Yeah, really. We have 2 albums.
So it was
Like
more than
real albums.
garage
They didn't have
band. It was,
CDs yet.
yeah.
We burned it onto that big round thing that you play at 33 RPMs.
Wow. Okay. And then what? Then take us a little bit further
All
because we
right,
didn't
so
get to Disney. We got the rock and roll
yep.
band.
So my other I graduated, and my one of my friends from school was a recruiter for Disney, and this was back in the late 80s. So they were on a huge hiring spree. And my interview went like this: "Hey Vance, you want to come down? We've got some opportunities." "Sure, I'll see you down there in a little while." 2 weeks later, I moved to Orlando and was hired by the Disney company.
Doesn't matter who you know.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to work these days because they've got psychological tests and batteries of,
Scan your brain. See your
yeah,
thoughts.
I think you even got to get an MRI or a CAT scan before you can work there. Um,
Oh my
so I
God.
spent 10
Okay.
years with Disney. Worked at, I don't know have you ever been to Pleasure Island when it was there? That
No.
was Disney's, I call it their failed attempt at booze, debauchery, nighttime entertainment, scantily clad women, etc.
Oh,
Yeah, oh yeah, it was a great place. It was
it
seven
was a great
nightclubs on a
place.
5 acre. What's that?
It was a great place. I like that.
It was 7 nightclubs on a 5 acre island.
Okay.
And that was where I think Walt was rolling in his grave because Disney actually had a gang problem. We had to put up a sign that said no colors. It was incredible. I don't know if you know about what colors are, but gang colors.
Yeah, I do. I know a lot
And
about it.
so this was before 9/11. This park actually was the first park to have Orange County sheriffs stationed in the parking lot on horseback. Now, where do you see sheriffs on horseback? Either in a parade or at a riot. Well, we didn't have parades at Pleasure Island.
Oh my God. Oh my God. That's just, it's not hysterical. Okay.
No, it is. You can laugh at it.
So are you telling me it didn't go well?
Well, cash money. Oh my God, the thing was just, it was like $100 bill printer. It just kept going and going and going. I mean, the markup on booze is
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah.
Um, I understood why it was built. At the time, this is before Disney Plus, before the internet, all that stuff. No Disney Channel yet. And so they were missing a key demographic, which was between the ages of 18 and like 30, because everybody kind of under 18 was going with their parents to go to the parks. And then people over the age of 30, well, they were the parents and taking the kids. And there wasn't a lot going on for people in that middle demographic. And they realized they needed to capture that demographic if they wanted them to come back again and again with their families when they had them. So they created Pleasure Island.
I'm sorry I missed that, Vance. I'm very sorry. All right. So, highlight of those 10 years. Was that Pleasure Island?
No, no. That was actually I was there for 3.5 years. It was New Year's Eve every night of the year there. That was the theme. So Disney's really big
Yeah,
on theming.
yeah.
So I have 1,162 New Year's Eves under my belt. To say I'm jaded to that holiday is an understatement. But I was lucky enough to be on the design team for a couple of their restaurant attractions. So my big thing that I am proud that we put together was a restaurant called Chef Mickey's, which is a character dining destination.
Yeah, yeah. I think I've been to Chef Mickey's. I'm a big Disney fan.
Oh, cool.
Is it true? I heard through the grapevine that the characters, when a child's hugging them, cannot release the hug until the child does.
No, because it would get real awkward because a lot of times those kids hold on. Yeah, well, I mean, it's like a little rabid poodle on a mailman's leg. I mean, it ain't letting go. So the kid, yeah, I mean, they are highly, highly trained in nonverbal communication because they
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
talk. But they'll pat the kid on the head or kind of scooch them along, or maybe go to hug another kid. I never saw Chip or Dale like shake a kid that was hanging onto its leg. But
Oh my God, that is such good training, but I get it. Like, you're right.
yeah.
At some point, you have to let go. So I don't think you know this, or maybe I told you. When I opened my health clubs, I modeled them after Disney. I said I wanted my health clubs to be the Disney experience of health clubs. And I wrote manuals and manuals on customer service that were like 80 pages deep in my training. And people were like, Sandy, you're going overboard. But guess what? My people very rarely left. I mean, for the health club business, we did have some
Yeah.
turnover, but not a lot
Oh yeah.
because they liked it and the members liked it. It
It's
was a fun,
amazing.
yeah, it was a fun time. And I spent a lot of time on the customer service, which leads me to my first question from the peanut gallery.
Okay.
We always make up names. All right, Vance, I love this. I'm all about customer service, but I'm dying here, dude, because I just don't think the staff is willing or able to be trained.
Fire them. Fire them. Get a new staff.
There you go. Problem solved. There you
Let's
go.
go. Question number
There you
2.
go, Billy Bob. Just fire him.
There you go. Question number 2. No, just kidding. So, one of the key things that Disney does and that I teach is if you want engaged employees, if you want them, similar to your health clubs, sticking around for life, is you've got to get them involved where they feel like they have a say in what's going on. So when we were designing Chef Mickey's, we got all of the constituencies together. So the busboys, the servers, the chefs, everybody got together and we went around a central mission. So our mission for the restaurant was we had to get Mickey Mouse through 400 seats in 43 minutes and make it feel like it was an incredible experience for every single guest. Now that's no small feat. That's
Whoa.
yeah. So we would go to the bus boys and we'd say, okay, bus boys, we got 43 minutes to get the mouse through the restaurant. What can you do to help speed up our table turns? So, I mean, if you've worked in a restaurant, you know, turning tables is, you know, first guest is done, then they clean it, and then the next guest is seated.
Yeah. Waitressed many years.
Okay, so you got the lingo. So the bus boys were like, you know what? We could probably shave some time if right now when we clear the breakfast table, we've got the salt and pepper shaker, we got the condiment thing with all the sugar in it, we got the maple syrup thing, and we got the creamers. I said, and we have to pick all those little things up and move them so we can clean the table. If we had something to put all that stuff in on the table, we'd just have to lift up that thing, move it, clean, put it back. So we created a basket, a Disney Mickey basket that held all of that stuff in there. Shaved, I don't know, 32 seconds off of a table turn. But so that helped. But the key thing is that it was a busboy or an hourly employee's idea that got them to do that. And so when you want stuff to happen in your business, you know, you have to set parameters. I mean, you can't just let them go willy-nilly. You set parameters. You have to have a defined mission that everybody can rally around. So, you know, Mickey Mouse, 400 seats, 43 minutes. Boom. Okay, great. We know where we got to go. So is your mission that clear in your business? If not, well, you got a little work to do. But then you just get them involved. I mean, you know, I had an insurance company as a client. And, you know, insurance companies, they can be very, not boring, but monotonous. And, you know, if you call them on the phone, thank you for calling Biff's, insurance agency. We all hear people answer the phone that way. Well, my client was a huge rock and roll fanatic. And you go into his office, he had gold records on the wall, autographed guitars, posters. I mean, just complete rock and roll nut. So we got his team together and we got to the part of, okay, well, how are we going to answer the phone? And we went round and round with some different things. And actually, one of the employees came up with this. Thank you for calling Dave's Allstate, the agency that rocks.
Ingenious.
Now, brilliant. I didn't come up with that. Dave didn't come up with that. An employee came up with that. Now, does it sound a little hokey? Sure. You know, but does it differentiate you from every other insurance company in Tallahassee? Yeah, probably. And remember what your marketing is supposed to do is there's only two things marketing does. It attracts the people you want and it repels the people you don't want. And just by answering the phone that way, we can sift, sort, and screen out undesirable customers.
Sift, sort, and screen out. SSS. I got to write that out.
SSS. Not the other SSS.
Okay.
Am I making this hard on you? I'm sorry.
No, the complete opposite.
Okay.
You're cracking me up. That's all. It's cracking me up.
I'm like Bob Newhart, straight face the whole time. You're the one giggling.
You're setting me up, Vance. You set me up. All right. We're going to go right into our next question because it has to do with this. Staying with the people and the employees. We're going to take one from Sally Bell, we'll call her.
All righty.
Dear Vance, is it possible that this generation just won't do it? They're so used to communicating on their phone that it's way, way more difficult to train them in customer service.
Well, don't forget, customer service isn't just about face-to-face interactions. And, you know, like we didn't get to that part of my bio, but in addition to doing this coaching and consulting stuff, I also own 3 home service businesses, carpet cleaning business, Oriental rug washing, and a mold remediation company. And when we communicate with our clients, we give them options on what is the best way to communicate. Do you want it by email? Do you want us to call you? Do you want us to text? And we note that in their file, and that's how we decide to communicate with them. It is, and I read this in the Wall Street Journal, it was a couple of weeks ago, about how companies, big companies, are actually having to do phone training because the generation right now, they have this device, which you really can't call it a telephone. It's a handheld device, and it happens to have a phone app on it, right? That's all it is. And so they are actually doing training on how to make a phone call. And then there's a whole etiquette to this. It's like, well, should we text the person before we call them and let them know that we're going to call? No, you just call them. Well, isn't that rude? Well, no, if they don't want to answer, it'll go to voicemail. And they're like, what's that? I'm like, well, see, back in the old days, you know, if somebody did answer the phone, we left a message on this tape cassette thing, and then you had to hit the play button. Now it's a little bit more automated and advanced because I don't know, not one of my kids, I got 4 kids ages 16 to 25. Not a one of them has ever left me a voicemail. They've called and hung up. They've texted me, never left a voicemail. So you have to actually do the training on some of these things that, I mean, if telephones are vital to your business, well, don't assume that, you know, Biff and Sam know how to use the phone. You got to train them. And you got to train them not to be afraid of it. Yes, you're going to have to talk. And, you know, a lot of it also goes back to hiring. I mean, you know, you say they won't do it. Well, then don't hire somebody that won't do it. Hire somebody that will do it. You'll find them eventually. I mean, think about this. How does Chick-fil-A hire people that say, please, thank you, my pleasure, from the same applicant pool that McDonald's hires employees?
Yeah, really? I've never been there. They
Where?
say
Chick-fil-A?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's night and day.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it's the
Now I have to
same.
go to Chick-fil-A.
You do. It's the same pimply-faced prepubescent teenagers that are thinking about anything but chicken or burgers. And if you go to Chick-fil-A, it's my pleasure. It is please and thank you. And I mean, just like, you know, it's like they're talking to grandma. You go to McDonald's, you're lucky if they grunt at you. They're hiring from the same applicant pool. It's the same high school feeding both restaurants. Why can one manage nice, polite kids and the other one doesn't?
Hiring and training?
Hire and training. That's right. You tell them what you want to. It's your business. People complain, oh, I can't stand my customers. Well, you got them. Deal with it. Get new ones if you don't like the ones you got. I mean, why are you complaining about your customers or complaining about your employees? You either hired them or you got them through marketing and advertising. Don't complain. Change the way you're actually attracting employees and change the way you're attracting customers. It's not difficult.
Vance Morris, logic with humor.
Why complicate things, right?
I'm all about keeping not time. I always say to people, it's not time consuming. It's not complicated. It's just that you want to do this. That's it. That's it.
Yep.
Okay, I'm not going to laugh anymore.
I don't know if I answered the question, but there you go.
You did it. Well, I think the concern, and I know you've heard it a million times, is there's a shortage of people that really want to work and do these kind of jobs. So they're picking from, I don't want to say the bottom of the barrel, but you know what I mean? Like, and they're not trainable.
Well, you know, and the sad thing is that adults have taken kids' jobs. Like when I was growing up, I had 3 lawns that I mowed and I got $15 for each lawn. Now there ain't a kid within 100 miles of me mowing a yard because it's all done by adults. Same thing with a newspaper route. I had a newspaper route since I was 12 or 13. My mama didn't take me out. I went out. And if I was sick, she said, I'll help you, I'll drive you, but you're still going. And so I learned customer service. I learned to be on time. I learned how to talk to people because that was back then. I don't know if you ever got the newspapers in the 80s, but they would give you these the paper boy actually had to go door to door to collect the money. And so I had to go door to door and collect my money. If I didn't collect the money, I was screwed. So those two jobs don't exist anymore for young people. So they don't get the early training that they used to get 20, 30, 40 years ago.
Okay, Vance. So I want to go back to the phone because it's a pet peeve of mine. Just leave me a voicemail. Like, just leave me a voicemail. I'll get back to you. I promise. And that way we don't have to play phone tag. I'll know what you want.
Again, not complicated.
What do your kids say? Why don't they leave voicemails?
You know, I don't think I've ever asked them why. I probably should.
I'm curious. I really
They
am.
figure, you know, they say, well, look, you saw that I called, just call me back. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, if it's not important, I'll wait till I see you at dinner.
Yeah, like it's only okay. All right, so we're going to go right into the next question, which
Bring it
is,
on.
do you think it's important for businesses to have a human? You just were talking about that, answer the phone. A lot of the people listening say their number one frustration is push this, now push this, now push this, now push this, and then it hangs up on them. Not that I've had that experience. Or you finally go, oh no, we want to talk to you, but it's an AI bot. And then you go from, this just happened to me yesterday. And then you go from the AI bot to, it's still a chat, but there's somebody else on the other end that's Sarah and not a chat bot.
You know, I think a lot of it is business or industry specific.
Yeah.
So for example, if you're a home service business, you fix refrigeration, appliances, you're a plumber, what have you, and you don't answer your phone live, you're screwed. Because if you go to Google and type in plumbers near me and you're number one and they call you and you don't answer the phone, they ain't leaving a message. They're going on to plumber number two because they got leaky pipes and they want their stuff fixed now. You know, so I'm partner in a call center. And when we were doing the research for it, we called 4,000 home service businesses. We got their phone numbers from Google pay-per-click. So these are all companies that are paying to be at the top of Google rankings. 17% answered the phone live. 17%. That's it. I will never in my businesses, never give up the human answering the phone. Now, should you have a chat bot on your website? Yes, especially if they're just answering, you know, your FAQs or something like that. You know, do you run $100 billion a year company and you need a phone tree? Sure. You know, this is funny. So I started my cleaning business the same time as this other guy across the state. And, you know, I grew my business the way I knew how. He did it by faking it. So he would, you know, he had his residential division, and then he had his commercial division, and then he had his healthcare division. He was one guy with one truck. And he had press 1 for residential, press 2 for this, press 3 for that, and all the phones just went to him. I don't get it. So, you know, I think there's a time and a place for it. I mean, if you are getting, you know, tens of thousands of phone calls a week, yeah, you probably want some kind of filter in there. You work in a large office building, you got 100 employees. Yeah, maybe you want a robot answering the phone and have them be able to enter the extension. But boy, if I hit 0, you better bet your boopy you got a live person at the other end of that thing answering. Because I want to talk to Marge.
Oh
I don't want to go into some loop I don't want to get hung up on. I want to talk to Marge.
I'm going to bet my boopy.
Good. Then you'll have two.
Is there any client you have that doesn't say they had fun while they're changing their system?
Yeah, I had an attorney group. They're out in Huntington Beach, California. They were uh, what happens when you die and your funds goes up? Probate attorneys. So not a real sexy, fun kind of thing. And some of them were a little stodgy, to say the least. But and getting them to unstodgy. I mean, they showed up to my seminar, in suits and ties. I'm like,
Yeah.
aren't we in California? I thought everybody wore shorts here.
Yeah.
But not this group. Suits and ties. And I'm like, all right, let's lose the ties. Keep the jacket if you must, but get rid of the tie. So we had to set that. It took me an extra day with this group to get them to the point. By the end of it, they were like, oh my God, we can do this. Oh my God, we can do that. But that first day, I was like, oh, what the hell did I get myself into? This is insane.
But I bet it was so rewarding when you shifted them.
Yeah, it was beer 30 real fast.
All right. So, nuts and bolts. What size companies do you work with right now?
Between 1 and like 20 million. I know that's a big stretch.
You've narrowed
And
it down. You have your fractal.
well, because you could say you're a $20 million a year company, and if you're selling, $1 million pieces of equipment, all you got is 20 sales a year. That's not much of a business. So the kind of people I work with are either the owner, the CEO, are involved with the business still. They haven't gotten so big that there's now a COO, a CFO, an HR department, a training department. Because once you get that divested, I really don't want to work with you because I'm going to end up working with the training department. The CEO is not going to be involved, and we're going to come up with all these grand plans, and the CEO is going to like, are you kidding me? So the CEO or the owner has to be bought in to what we're doing. I mean, I have a $23 million a year HVAC company that I work with. And they've got, I don't know, like 15 or 16 trucks on the road. That's a great business for me to work with. I've worked with home inspectors, child care center owners, orthodontists.
And what do they come with you for? Like they say, hey, Vance, number one concern they have.
Well, I will tell you, nobody wakes up in the morning and says, you know what? My customer service really sucks. I should call Vance. I mean, that conversation is
Before?
just not occurring in people's minds,
Yeah.
although I would like it to.
Yeah.
They realize that they come to the realization that they are a commodity and that they are being treated as such because that's how they portray themselves. Commodities do not control pricing. The market commands the price or sets the price. If you move yourself up the ladder and start providing services and experiences, now you can't be compared to anybody else and you can command premium prices. For example, so I had a dentist client and she had 9 other dentists just in her building, not even her town, but just in the building. And they were all just nickeling and diming each other. They were all within, $1 for whatever service. There was no differentiator. And so she goes, look, I'm banging my head against the wall. I can't seem to get out of this rut. I've got more employees than I need or want. What can I do to make myself stand out? And I said, so I don't know how we got on to movies, but I said, well, what's your favorite movie? She goes, well, Peter Pan. I said, oh, have you ever thought of using that theme in your office? No, I haven't. And I said, well, let's examine this a little bit. Let's unpack it. So after about half a day, we worked through that she was no longer just a general dentist. She was going to specialize in pediatric dentistry. She was going to be the pirate dentist. So she got herself dressed up like Captain Hook. The cleaning techs, whatever they hygienists, whatever they call them, all were dressed like Mr. Smee. They walk around the office saying "arg." They have a big giant play set that's a like an old pirate ship play set in the waiting room. She went all in on this. So that's all well and good. That's nice. Yes, there was an investment in it. But here's the return on that investment. When did I talk to her? I talked to her in November. In November, she was 60% higher than her next closest dentist in her building. 60%.
Mm.
She eliminated insurance. She no longer takes insurance.
What?
She is 100% private pay, cash only, or checks or credit cards. But when she stopped taking insurance, she was able to eliminate three staff members who only did insurance billing. So now she's more profitable because she got rid of some folks. She's not waiting. She's not controlled by the insurance companies with whatever prices she would have to charge. She's taking more time off. I think she only works like 3.5 days a week. And she's got other dentists now in the office, and she's got a wait list.
Oh my God. And I want to go there as an adult, right? Right?
Yeah.
Right? It's more relaxing. It's more fun, you know?
I mean, what's the last thing a kid wants? Well, actually, anybody wants to do.
Anybody. Nobody wants to go to the dentist.
Nobody wants to go to the dentist. And you're like, okay, well, I don't want to be a pediatric dentist. I'm just a regular dentist. Okay, well, so we had a guy in Northern Virginia. Again, he got out of the insurance stuff, went private pay, but he was a concert pianist. And so he put a grand piano, one of those player pianos, in his lobby, constantly playing music. Marge from the front desk bakes one cookie at a time about every 20 or 30 minutes. So when you walk into his office, you don't smell antiseptic, you know how dentist's office smell. You smell chocolate chip cookies. And you don't hear, the drills and the equipment behind, you just that drives you nuts. You don't hear any of that because you hear the player piano playing in the lobby.
Who would have thought?
Difficult.
Okay, but you know what? And I know you've seen this over and over again. We do overthink things. We make things complicated, and we think they have to be more difficult than they are. And what you've taken is what I love is, and what I'm getting out of this, you sat with a person and look, you're like, okay, what do you like? Okay, the piano. All right, what kind of movie do you like? So you were learning about them and pulling from that to bring in the fun and the uniqueness into their business.
100%. Yep. Well, you summed that up a lot better than I did. It took me 5 minutes to say all that. You did it in 10 seconds. Good gracious. Congratulations.
That's because I do scribble scrabble. I take notes.
Okay.
By the way, I have pictures of you here. So when I listen to you, I scribble scrabble my thoughts.
As long as you're not playing hangman, we're all set.
No, we're good. So the carpet cleaning business, because I saw that, out of work, executive turned carpet cleaner business. What was your theme? What separated you out?
It was actually our guarantee, which was the most thorough cleaning ever, or it's free. Bottom line, that was it. The most thorough cleaning ever, or it's free guarantee. At the end of the job, if you are not head over heels thrilled, and every one of my employees knows this, if you're not head over heels thrilled with your cleaning, we will not accept your money. We'll go back and re-clean or whatever. If you call us back for, maybe a spot reappeared or something like that, we have a 30-day warranty. We'll go back, we'll clean up anything you want. We're so sorry. Oh my God. Sometimes it happens, especially with animals and their messes.
Yeah.
But we cheerfully go back. We're apologetic. Even if it's the dog's fault, we're the ones saying, oh my God, we're so sorry. Let us come back out and clean it. We even have a warranty We have a 2-week warranty that if we clean today and this weekend you have a house party and you got klutzy house guests and somebody drops a hot dog on your clean carpet, give us a call Monday morning. We'll come back out and we'll clean that spot for free, as long as it's within that 2-week window. So there's
That's
really not a
unheard of.
whole heck of a lot of experience there, other than we've got an awesome guarantee and nobody will touch it. Now,
Don't
you
they
want
have
to hear the carpet
certain
cleaning experience?
uniforms?
What's that?
Don't they have, I was looking for the uniforms. I thought you were going to tell me they were going to be dressed up in character.
Oh, no. But so, okay. So if you don't script out, so like Disney is a storytelling company. They do movies, stories, etc. And so they literally have scripts for their employees, which are called cast members. And the cast members have roles in the show. They don't have jobs at work. So it's a mindset thing. So one of the processes in the carpet business that we scripted was getting in the front door. Okay, because if we can't get in the front door, we can't clean. So our process starts out in the street. So the technician drives up to the house. He gets out of his van and he's in a clean, crisp new uniform because he carries an extra one on the van in case he gets dirty beforehand. Okay, so there's your uniform. Oh, by the way, I prohibit smoking in the van and I prohibit aftershave, because the last thing you want is somebody coming out smelling like the Marlboro Man took a shower in Axe. It's just disgusting. So the guy gets out of his van. What?
Okay.
Okay, so the guy gets out of his van, he goes and he gets his bag, he gets his magic carpet, and he gets a little gift, and he goes up to the front porch, he lays down this magic carpet, which is just a logoed mat that we have. He knocks on the door, because friends knock and salespeople ring the bell. He takes 2 steps back from the screen door. We've been doing that way before COVID, because most of my guys are kind of big. And so you don't want like 210-pound Josh standing nose to nose with 80-year-old Mrs. McGillicuddy, because you're going to scare the crap out of her. So he takes 2 steps back. Mrs. McGillicuddy answers the door, and we say, "Hi, my name's Josh. I'm here to create your healthy home." See, that's our mission. So remember, we had the mission before with Chef Mickey's,
Yes.
43 minutes, 400 people, and the mouse. So our mission is to create a healthy home. We do that by cleaning. May we come in? We don't just barge in. She says yes. So Josh will then do an exaggeration of wiping his feet on the carpet, and then he puts booties on, shoe covers. And he goes in the front door, he puts a towel down, he puts a school bag down on top of the towel, and he presents Mrs. McGillicuddy with a gift. Now, when was the last time you had a home service provider come to your home and give you a gift before they did any work? And I'm not talking like tchotchkes, like, chip clips and fridge magnets. I'm talking like a nice box with a gift in it. Did that ever happen to you? Never. All right. Well, you got to move down here to Maryland and you'll get the experience. So we give Mrs. McGillicuddy a gift. Now, why do we do that? One, it separates us from everybody else out there. There ain't nobody else doing it. My competitors know I do it and don't copy it. Either they're lazy, they're stupid, or they're poor. That's the only reasons I can think of. So giving her a gift separates us. And you okay?
Oh, you crack me up. I just want to work with you just to work with you.
Well, this is real stuff, though. This isn't made up. This is real. So
ahead.
the other thing a gift does is it starts the process of reciprocity. So remember, Disney, money-making company, Vance, money-making company. So reciprocity is I give you something, you feel compelled to give something back to me. So when we implemented the gift, we saw a 26% increase in our mid-tier package, which equated to about $65,000 additional dollars a year just by giving the gift. Now, the gift is very simple. So I have a little custom box. It says, welcome to our family. Inside the box is a bottle of our spot remover, a little bag of cookies, and a note from me saying, thank you very much for letting us into your home. If you have any problems, here's my personal cell phone number. Please call.
Okay, I'm in Pennsylvania. I could very easily come to Maryland.
You could. If you're in southern Pennsylvania, you're south of Philly, I'll send somebody up there.
Oh Okay, all right. Is there anything else you're missing of the service? Because the right there, I
Getting
mean,
in the front
that's a
door?
lot.
No, that's it right there. Getting in the front door. That was it.
That's a lot.
I
That's
mean,
a
it goes
lot.
by fast. It took me longer to explain it than it actually takes for it to
I
happen.
know, but the whole thing, no shaving or after shave, no cigarettes, and
It was
another
disgusting.
uniform.
Do you really? I mean, we're a cleaning company, for crying out loud. You want somebody smelling like they just rolled out of the gutter? I mean, that's not very congruent with our message.
Common sense at its finest. All right, Vance. What is the shortest amount of time it ever took you that you worked with a client and you're like, that's it, and you knew it instantly? Like it took a
The
day.
shortest amount of time? Can you rephrase the question? I'll make sure I got this right.
So, for example, the dentist you went into with, you go in and you're like, hey, you just need, what movie do you like? Peter Pan. Okay, next thing you know, it's this. It sounded like it was like you worked
Oh
with
no,
her
that
today
was,
and
I
she
mean,
changed
that
your life.
was, I mean, just getting the idea was a full day.
Yeah.
That of deciding, okay, yes, I'm going to niche. I'm not going to be a general dentist. I'm going to niche and be a pediatric dentist. That was a major shift for her. It took some getting to, because I'm like, oh my God, well, I can't exclude all these other people. I said, yeah, you can. I mean, who gets paid more? Your regular doc that you go see at the doc in a box, or the brain surgeon that is going to be 3 months away before you can get an appointment? The brain surgeon's getting paid a hell of a lot more than the doc in the box. They're both got medical degrees. One's a generalist, one's a specialist. Specialist gets paid more every day of the week. So once I convinced her that she should specialize, that would give her price elasticity. And that took some time to go through and describe. And then once she realized that she could, if she got rid of insurance billing, that her life would be so much better. Things really kind of snowballed from there. But the one that stands out that was like really fast, she already brought a lot of stuff to the table, and she's a organic farmer in Georgia, Hendricks Family Farms, and she herself is, mascot's not the right word. She's the face of this company. She's just freaking brilliant on video, and her writing was already good. So all I had to do was offer some tweaks here and there to take it to the next level. So yeah, a lot of times it comes just right from the person's already doing good stuff.
I love the fact that you're doing so many varied companies. Like you said, an organic farmer, to it could be a dentist,
Mhm.
trucking company, doesn't
Yeah.
matter,
You know,
chemical company, restaurant.
it's funny. I tell people that they have to niche and specialize, yet I can't seem to do it myself. But I don't have a problem getting customers or clients, so I guess I'm not going to worry about it right now.
Yeah, and I think you do have a niche in a different way. I mean, your approach is so unique. And I love the fact that I'm sitting here and I'm already thinking of the steps that I could even take within my business to separate myself out, that if I didn't speak to you, even on this podcast, I never would have thought of. Like my brain is like, choo, 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 you know, just
That's
being.
the, and that's what our brainstorming sessions are all about. I mean, it's the the no bad idea, just brain dump. And we got posters and stick 'em stuff all over the place. Um, it's a lot of fun, because especially for the employees, because now they get energized because somebody has asked their opinion.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, are you going to be able to do anything you want? No. Here's the guardrails or the parameters. As long as it's within these two things, knock your socks off. Always like Southwest Airlines. You ever flown on Southwest?
Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
I mean, how does a budget airline manage to get employees to make it sound like you're at, the Comedy Warehouse? How
Funny.
is it that I mean, when was the last time you walked off of a flight and you were happy? Very rarely occurs. I mean, I was on a Southwest flight. This is a number of years ago. And I remember, every flight attendant, FAA mandates that flight attendants make that announcement. Be careful opening up the overhead bins. Items have a tendency to shift in flight. We've all heard some version of that. Some of the airlines actually have it recorded now. It's not even a real person saying it. But on Southwest, they had been entertaining us through the whole flight. She made that announcement, be careful opening up the overhead bins. Items have a tendency to shift in flight. As you know, shift happens.
Yeah.
Boom.
Little thing, it makes you
And
smile.
it is like, okay, that was stupid, but now I'm smirking.
No, I like it. No, I like it. Yeah.
So, you figured, I mean, there's 179 other people got off of that flight with a little smile on their face and told however many other people. I mean, this happened to me years ago and I'm still talking about it.
Okay, got to fly Southwest also. So do you ever, we got to go. I know we have to go, but do you ever help people create their manuals for customer service that the employees can? Okay.
Oh, yeah. So, as we mentioned, Disney scripts a lot of stuff, but Disney is a very process and system oriented company. They are simple systems, simple processes. Again, you have to remember who's working the attractions, who's, they're, a bunch of teenagers probably never had a job before. Safety and security probably aren't on their mind. So the systems have to be simple. And when I was there, and I think it's still true to this day, our manuals were based on 3 words: what to do, how to do it, and the most important one that everyone forgets: why do we do it that way? Answering the phone. Okay, that's the what to do. How do we do it? Thank you for calling Dave's Allstate, the agency that rocks. Now, if you had just left it at that and said, yeah, you got to say that because I said so, you're not going to get much engagement. But you give them, why do we say it like that? Because it shows we're fun. It shows we're different. It shows that we stand out and we sift, sort, and screen out all of the, all of the looky-loos and people that would make bad customers. And so, yes, documentation. I talked with a business broker the other day, and he said, if your systems in your business are documented, so not only your service systems, your HR systems, and your marketing systems, you're looking at an increase of like 2x multiple of your business value because you have documented systems. Your business value doubles with documented systems.
Wow.
I'm like, if that's not a reason, yeah, it's a pain in the butt. I mean, hell, I don't like doing it, but I know that the payoff when you get ready to sell or exit is there for you.
Yeah. I took this speaker course and it was the most amazing course. And I went back a couple weeks ago because they said, well, you sit in the audience and observe other people and just give us your feedback. And their customer service is off the chain, Vance. And what I didn't know, because it seems so natural and unscripted, that everything is scripted to the point of how you walk in the door and they greet you for the first time when you're coming, because they know you're nervous. You're going to be getting up on stage and being critiqued for your speech. Everything is scripted, like little words. I watched them train 2 people on how to talk about their program because they're thinking of backing out a little bit. And the banter seemed so fun and natural, but they scripted everything. Now, they were theater majors, so it was amazing. Sure. I had no idea that it was that scripted to switch that word, no, switch this word, switch, and how much it really matters. I just thought they were all doing it.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's if you want consistency in the delivery of your experience, it's got to be scripted. Otherwise, people are gonna, they'll take whatever leeway they can get, and if they don't have to say it, they won't say it. I mean, you do have to, I mean, ruthless management of follow up on, is Marge really answering the phone the way Marge should? So mystery shopper, secret shoppers, whatever they call them,
Yeah.
all that stuff.
Well, Vance, we gotta go, man. It flew
I
by.
know.
It was so fun. I've learned so much. I know everyone listening or watching is going to be like, where the heck can I get a hold of Vance? So tell us.
Well, you got to move to Maryland. I'll clean your carpet for you.
Okay, besides the carpet, would now anybody near Maryland, you're going to want to use Vance Carpet Service.
Yeah,
What
exactly.
about?
No, for the well, if you are in Maryland, please call Eastern Shore Carpet Cleaning 822-6100.
No, wait, what was the name of it?
East, I'm very plain Jane when I name things. Eastern Shore Carpet Cleaning.
No, I like that. Okay, cool.
Why complicate it, right? But yeah, for the coaching and consulting, my website deliverservicenow.com is probably the best place to start. You can actually get a free copy of my book there. You can download a PDF. If you like books, ones that you like hold in your hand, you can still get a free copy. Just pay for shipping and handling. All that's right there on the website.
Vance, is there anything we didn't get in that you want to get in before we wrap up?
Oh my.
Oh
No, that's a
my.
loaded question. I don't think we got time for that.
Okay. All right. Well, can I just highlight a couple things so that people go, all right, Sandy, what's one thing that I can do? Because they like takeaways that I
Sure.
can. And for me, in my Scribble Scrabble notes, the biggest thing I got was involve your people, make them be a part of the process. That was the
Yep.
number one thing I got. Number two is, why are we doing what we're doing? That's huge. And number three, start thinking about what makes you unique. What do you like? Who's going to put together pirates and dentistry? But you did.
Yeah.
Or the piano. Like, think
Yeah.
about, start with what you like and what joy and how you can make it unique to your business.
The only thing unique in your business is your story.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll wrap with that, because nobody else has lived it.
Yeah.
And I read about pages on websites, and they're all the same, and they're all horrible. I got a PhD in this, and I got a MHQ in that, and I live in whatever town. Well, you know what? People do business with people. They don't do business with businesses, and you've got to use your story in your marketing. I mean, do I want to know your shoe size, or Aunt Matilda's got gonorrhea or whatever? We don't need to know that. But what is your story? How did you go from, how did you get interested in orthopedics? Tell us a little bit about your family, so that you actually become human. And if you've got some humorous stories, bring them out. People love to be entertained. I mean, just look at how our society now, how we pay educators and how we pay entertainers. That is a big difference right there. So
Because we need to laugh.
we do. We also need to learn a little bit. We got some dummies running around here,
Well, they can entertain while they teach.
But this is true.
Yeah. All right, my let's keep it real people. Come on. There's at least one person you need to share this with. Also, we'd really appreciate you liking and rating it. It makes a huge difference. And until next time, you know what I'm going to say. Thanks, Vance, and toodles.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it, Sandy.